Hello learners, hope you all are doing good. Today in this tutorial we are going to solve lots of SQL queries. So before directly jumping to the SQL queries, I just want to check our last created table. So in last lecture we created a one table EMP. So let's try to get that table for. So select the start from EMP. So we created one table EMP and I'm going to fetch all the details from this table. So select a start from EMP. So this is the table and it has 8 rows with different columns. Okay. Now let's check the EMP details. So we can see these are the columns names, these are the constants, and these are the types, data types. Okay, so let's start with the SQL queries. So in this tutorial, we are going to solve lots of SQL queries. So let's start with the first query. Okay, so fetch first name, last name from employee table. Okay, so let me pin this result so we can check every time whenever we need to see. So here we can see fetch first name last name from employee table. So we need to get this F name and L name from this table. So we are trying to fetch the specific column, right? So how to fetch a specific column? So we need to write like select and the specific column name. So here we need first name, then last name from what? So from which table? So from EMP table. So let me run this query. So we are getting this first name, last name. Now let's move to the next query. So let me paste it here. So fetch last name from employee table using alias name employee table, employee name. So what is Alias? So Alias is something like we are renaming the column name. Okay. So let's try to solve this. So fetch last name. Select last name from employee table using alias name employee name. Okay. So we need to have alias name. So here the last name column should be employee name. Okay. So how can we solve this query? So we just need to use one keyword as keyword which is used for alias. Okay. So select L name as employee name from which table? EMP table. So let me run this query. So we can see so employee name. So last name is renamed as employee name and we are getting this data. So it's not required to have as keyword in the statement. So if you don't want to use as keyword, it's okay. You just need to write like column name and the name you want to use as alias. So if you want to run this will give you the same result. Okay. So this is same. Now let's move to the another query. So fetch first name, salary and salary into 1.5 as new salary. So in this query we are trying to fetch some specific column with some specific new column name. So firstly we need to write the specific column name. So f name comma salary comma salary as, so it's 1.5, right? So salary into 1.5 as new salary. So as I mentioned in the last query, if you want to use as keyword, we can use, else you can just remove. For now I am using it, so just you can write it as new salary from emp table. So let's try to run this query. So here we can see we fetch the specific first name, salary, and then new salary, and new salary is multiplied with 1.5. Okay, so we are getting this correctly. Now let's check for without as. So if you don't want to use as keyword, you can just remove it and run. So there is no difference, it's up to you how do you want to run the query, okay, and how do you want to write the query. Now let's move to the next query. So fetch the employee details whose last name is Gupta. Okay, so let me comment this first and now try to move. So let's see the table first. So here in this table we can see there are multiple name which is having last name as Gupta. So let's write one query. So select a star from emp where lname is equals to Gupta. Okay, let's run this. So we are fetching two rows. One is Jyoti Gupta and another one is Sam Gupta. So we are able to fetch. So in same way, like they might ask you to search the first name whose name starts from J or S. So in coming lectures we will see all those queries. Okay, now let's move to the next query. So fetch first name from employee table in uppercase. Okay, so we want to fetch a specific column name which should be in uppercase. So in Oracle there is one function. So let me write it. So select. So we need first name in uppercase. So we need to use this upper function. Then we need to pass the specific column name, and from which table we are fetching this. So from emp table. So here we can see all the details of first name is in uppercase. So this is our original table. Here we can see only the first letter is capital, other are in a small letter. So using upper function we can make it in caps. Okay, now let's move to the another question. So it's similar to the last question. Here we are trying to fetch in lower case. Okay, so for lower also we have one function lower. So let's write it. Select lower if name, which is our first name, from emp. So this query will fetch all the details in lowercase. So we can see even first letter is in a small caps. Okay, now let's move to the next question. Select the unique department from employee table. Okay, so for getting the unique data, we need to use the distinct keyword. Okay, so select distinct department from emp. So this will give us the unique department. So let's refers to our original table. So here we can see there are 8 rows, and 8 rows is having different different departments. So Jyoti is in banking, Sita is in finance, Ram is in retail, Sam is in finance. But these are not unique. So for example, Jyoti, Sweta, Tina are in the banking sector, right? And in retail, I can see Ram and Raj are in the retail sector. Sweta and Sohan are in the banking system. So banking department. So how could we get the distinct data? So distinct is the keyword which help us to get the unique details. Okay. So let's try to run this query and try to fetch the unique department. So we can see there are 3 unique department which is from our table. Okay, so in similar way they might ask you find the last name which is unique from emp table. So you can write select distinct l name from the employee table. So this query will give you the last name as like last name as unique. Okay, unique details you can get it from here. Now let's move to the next question. So select a start from 3 characters from first name of employee. So this is very important question. This question get asked in interview many times. So just read first, select first 3 character of first name from employee table. So basically, from this table, they want to have only three letters. Okay. So from Jyoti they want JYO. From Sita they want SIT. From Ram it's Ram. For Sam it's Sam. From Sweta it's SHW. So how can we get or how can we fetch these details from the first name? So we want only 3 characters. So basically, um, JYO. So what is this? This is basically SubString. So in Oracle, there is one function called SubStr, which will help us to get these details. So let's write the query. So select SubStr from first name and we want to have only 3 characters. So from 3. Okay. So from 1 to 3. From which table? From emp table. So let's try to run this query. See, so we are able to fetch first 3 character of the first name. So this is how we can get the details. Okay. So don't get confused like why we are seeing TI. We are not seeing the third letter because for this row there is one space, so it's counting first, second, and then third, so it's correct only. So like I intentionally put some irregularities in this table, so while doing operation on this table we can resolve. Okay, so in upcoming lectures you will able to understand why I put this percentage there, why I kept this space there. Okay, now for now let's move to the next question, which is also most important and get asked in interview many times. So get position of O in name Sohan from employee table. Okay, so I always like say and do myself also, like first try to read the query again and again. So what is our query, like what is our requirement? So get position of O in name Sohan from employee table. So see, your employee table is this. So and from this first name Sohan, you want to know the position of O. Okay, so how can you get the position of O in first name Sohan? So in Oracle there is one function instr. Okay, so in function there is. So how can you write it? So select instr. So in string from first name, right? First name, and what do you want to find, like position of O? So we can put it like O from which table? From employee, where if name is equals to shown. So we need to pass the exact name, else we will get the error. So let's try to execute this query. So we missed something. Select and string if name from emp where first name is equals to Sohan. So let me check what is the issue here. So see, this is the issue. We haven't write n as caps. So in our original table, we can see the last letter is in the caps. Let's try to run it again. Sorry. So we are getting the position of O. So this is the first and this is the second. So O is at second position. So we got the right output. Now let's move to the another question. So get first name from employee table after removing white spaces from right side. Okay, so basically we need to fetch the first name and which is not having any right space from right side. So here you can see in the sixth row there is a space before T. Okay, so we need to remove this. So in Oracle there is one function rtrim which help us to remove the white spaces. So let's see how can we remove the space. So select rtrim and on which table, on which row, on which column, sorry. So on first name from emp. Okay, Okay, so it's left side. So let's see in the next query, and let's remove this L trim. Use this L trim. So see, a space is removed. Okay, and let's suppose there might be some white spaces after M. Okay, in this row, so this will be removed from R trim. So removing white spaces from right side, we can use R trim, and removing white spaces from left side, we can use left trim. And uh, Instr will give us the position of any element. Okay, so if we want to get the position of any element, so we can use Instr function. If we want to fetch any substring, then we can use substring function. If we want to get the unique details, then we can use distinct keyword. If we want to get the details in lowercase, we can use lower function. If we want to get details in uppercase, then we can use upper function. And for fetching a specific data, we just need to write the specific column name. And if you want to rename any column, then you can use as keyword. If you don't want to use as keyword, just right next to your new column, so it will fetch the details for you. So that's all from this session. In next session I will try to get some more interesting questions for you guys. Thank you everyone, thank you learners. Please like, share and subscribe. We are new to the YouTube. Thank you.